Hey guys, it's DC here, and today we're going to talk about how to avoid stress at work. Now this topic is right on topic for me at the moment because stress at work is something that I don't really deal with anymore. I've sort of already laid the boundaries down to be able to say at work that I don't want to do certain things and I want to have, time for myself. As I've said in other videos that when I first started working, I was working a lot. I was working a few different jobs and I was also overworking myself. Without any real requirement or need to do so. I just did it. And it's really no fault except my own. And I feel like a lot of other people are in the same sort of situation where they really do try and push themselves to be better, which is fine. But at the same time, you really need to not be so stressed. And it's kind of hard to say exactly how to do that, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Now, the first thing that I would say is to just not work as much overtime if possible. Now, most places don't really ask you to work so much overtime that it's impossible to live your own life and be your own person and, have social events go on in your life. But some people do really struggle with it. So I think it's definitely worth mentioning to not take too much overtime work or to not give yourself too much overtime work to do. A way to achieve this in IT is if, for example, you're doing server reboots after hours, bank them all up into one night per week and do them all at the same time. Your boss won't care on your billable hours that you're doing everything in one big hit. In fact, they'll probably love it that you're doing everything in one massive go. And there's no real downside to doing it like that. It just sort of works out for you better. I think learning to say no it's a pretty powerful thing, especially in the corporate world that we all sort of live in these days, where a lot of places you go to expect you to do sort of more work than you really should be doing. And I think that creating schedules and deadlines for yourself that are actually achievable is one other way to achieve those goals. So what I would do in these sort of situations where someone's asking me, we need you to do this and this and this and this and this, I'm going to start setting some real expectations for them. An example of this is I have this business called the Safer Internet Project where I go out to clients and get them to sign up to a pen test. We do a security audit on their systems and they get scheduled in. Now, a lot of the time with these audits, they expect this to happen, pretty quick, but it doesn't always work out like that. Like recon can take ages. It can take a long time to do recon on a target. So you really need to set some expectations on when this work can actually be done by yourself or the other people who are doing work with you. So what I would normally say is a 4-week engagement for a pen test, which is way more than enough time to do the job. But I mean, it gives me a lot of time to focus on the task at hand, but it does create an expectation that this is how long it's going to take. And if it's something like, it'll be delivered by this time, I might not tell them that it's going to take 4 weeks to do it. I'm just going to say the delivery time is at the end of this 4-week period. Now with that, what I would also do is start setting deadlines for myself in my calendar. So I rely heavily on my calendar. My calendar is shared with my wife. It's also shared with one of my business partners that I work with. And the reason for that is so that I'm accountable at one point, but also organized. So I don't like to know, exactly what my wife is doing at any given time, but I like to be able to share what I'm doing so that there's expectations around when I'm going to be busy and can't go to some sort of social thing that's going on, or when my work periods are. Setting this sort of expectation there then that this is what you're going to be doing allows you to actually focus on that work without getting stressed, but it also makes it so that for me, I know I've got to do these tasks beforehand, which would also be in my calendar, to achieve this goal deadline at the end of the period or whenever it is. Another point that's probably worth talking about with getting stressed at work is sometimes there's questions asked of you that you don't know the answer to. And I think this is a major stress factor for a lot of people because they don't want to say that they don't know how to do something. But to be honest, in my experience, most places are pretty friendly with that sort of stuff. And even in like, fast-paced environments like managed service providers or MSPs, whatever you want to call them, when someone asks you to do something, whatever it is, I remember, this is years ago now, but I had to apply some SSL certificates to an Exchange box. And I had no idea how to apply SSL certificates to an Exchange machine. So I'd racked my brain for ages and ages. And they're like, have you done the certificate yet? And I was like, no, I haven't done it yet. And they're like, why the hell not? It's been 4 hours. And I was like, I don't know how to do it. They were like, oh, okay, cool. Let's show you. And I was shocked. I was like, what the fuck do you mean you're going to show me? Like, aren't you angry? And I'd created this massive amount of stress that I didn't know how to do something that was so simple. And yeah, I mean, once they showed me, I realized, oh, okay, I'm an idiot. And it was super simple. But if I'd asked 4 hours ago, and the guy I was working for at the time was like, you should have just asked. Like, just say you don't know how to do it, and we'll help you to do it. That's fine. And I think most places, from my experience anyway, most places that I've worked with are pretty friendly like that. These days, though, I mean, this was a long time ago. These days, there's a lot of information available on the internet. Pretty much everyone has had any problem that exists on any sort of system. So being able to find that information is I guess easier, but probably also flooded with misinformation. So sometimes it's a bit hard to sort through the crap. But yeah, I mean, just asking for help when you don't know how to do something is not you being stupid. It's actually you working in a team. I mean, that's what a team environment is all about. And that's what I think most places ask for on a job interview is, are you a team player? And what they mean by that is not that you're going to carry the team. It's that when you don't know how to do something, which no one knows how to do everything, you're going to ask for help. And that's so normal. That's a normal bit of every job. If it's in IT or accounting or being a lawyer or whatever it is, it's all the same. Not everyone knows how to do everything, or not everyone remembers what they've learnt in whatever certification or degree or whatever you learnt before. I mean, I've forgotten so much stuff that I used to do, especially in networking. I used to be, I think, pretty good at networking, and these days I see the networking guys I work with, and I'm like, damn, you guys are good. Like, how do you even do that? I can't remember. So yeah, I think asking for help is a major point there, and then that's those. And that sort of really helps you in the long run as well. So those are my tips for you to stay not stressed at work. If you found this video helpful, please do give me a thumbs up, subscribe for more, comment below if you have any other suggestions for staying not stressed at work, staying nice and streamlined and getting through the job. I'd love to see your comments on how you guys achieve that. So let's get that conversation rolling. Thanks guys, and I'll see you all on the next video. Peace.